Why hello lovely humans, Jen Foxbot here. Today we are going to learn how to control a large motor with a little microcontroller. So I'm going to focus on the microbit because it's a really common and popular platform these days, but it will also work for a wide variety of microcontrollers, including the Adafruit Circuit Playground Express, an Arduino board, or whatever control device that you have that you want to use to control a larger motor. I should specify servo motor. We're going to focus on servo motors. Okay, so one of the benefits of using a device like the microbit or the Circuit Playground Express or the Arduino microcontroller is that there are built-in libraries for us to easily control servo motors, which basically just means that we don't have to spend too much time in the weeds figuring out how to program these handy-dandy motors. Servo motors are special because they are a type of motor where we can tell the motor to go to a specific position, and there is actually a variable resistor called a potentiometer inside that sends information back to our controller to tell the controller, hey, I got to my position, this is where I'm at, and then the controller can say, okay, cool, I know where you are, I would like you to go to this other position, and then can go from there. So basically it's a motor where you can very accurately control the position and actually know if the motor went to that position. This is different from standard old DC motors, which you give power to and then they move at a certain speed. Good times. Or a stepper motor where you can tell a stepper motor to move a certain number of steps, but if it slips, you don't know if it actually got to that position. So servo motors are super useful. There are 3 wires on a servo motor: black, which is negative or ground, G and D for short, red in the middle, which is positive power in, and yellow is our signal wire. You might have a few different colors, like your signal wire might be orange, but black and red are almost always the 2 reserved for ground and positive power. To control a motor with an external power supply, in this particular instance, in addition to my servo motor, my large servo motor, which definitely is going to need more power than this little microbit can provide, I'm also going to need, well, an external power supply. You can use batteries, or I like to use plugged power supplies that plug into the wall, because then I don't have to worry about my batteries dying or anything else of that sort. This is a cool version because I can adjust it. It's a variable power supply. And at the end, I have clipped off the little connector port so I can more easily access the wires. And I used a multimeter on the voltage setting to figure out which wire was plus and which wire was minus or ground. My soldering skills on this were not great, so I'm going to bypass that, but I keep the wires attached so that they're kind of like labels, I suppose. So I'll need a power supply for the servo motor, not for the microbit. For the microbit power supply, I'm just going to use a standard old USB cable. I will also need 3 male jumper pins or pin headers to connect into the servo cable, because I don't really want to cut the servo cable. And I like these because they have alligator clips on the ends. Yay! So that makes it easy to connect to my microbit. I'm also going to need 2 standard old alligator clips. And those are going to be for the power supply. Okay, so let's make our connections. So the first one is pretty straightforward. I'm going to connect the servo signal wire, the yellow wire, to the microbit control pin. In this case, it's going to be the input pin 0 or P0. I am next going to connect the servo motor power in, the red wire, to my more powerful power supply, power out, or the red wire. So red to red. Cool. So far, so good. Okay, and now here is the tricky part. I connect the ground wire, the black wire of my servo motor, to the black wire of my power supply. But I'm not quite done here. I'm actually gonna use one of these extra alligator clips to make that connection, and you will see why in just a second. So servo black wire to the power supply black wire with an extra alligator clip. And now I take my remaining alligator clip and connect the negative side of this power supply to the ground pad on the microbit. In other words, I need to connect all of the ground connections together. And the reason why we have to do this is because voltage is a potential energy. You can kind of think about it like if you and your friend who is way taller than you go and drop a ball by holding your arm straight out. Well, your taller friend is going to have a higher arm than you if you just put them straight out. And so your friend's going to drop a ball and you drop the same ball, but your friend's ball is going to bounce higher because it has more potential energy, aka it was dropped at a higher height, so it's going to bounce back at a higher height. And so someone who didn't understand that might be confused, right? They'd be like, why did one ball bounce higher than the other ball? And then you could explain to them about gravity and potential energy and be like, oh yeah, what's up? Voltage is very similar to that. And so we have to make sure that the microbit and the power supply have the same reference voltage so that the servo motor can do its thing and do its thing correctly. Pretty cool. So now I am ready to go, assuming that my connections don't come unplugged. So I need to fix the alligator clip that just popped off my microbit. And I need to turn the computer on so my microbit has power. Maybe the laptop's gonna be annoying. Come on, laptop, please turn on. Boop. And then while the laptop is turning on, there we go, I'm going to exit camera screen and plug my power supply in. Here I go. And I'm back, ta-da! Okay, so now when I press the microbit button A, oh, what's up? Yeah! Cool. So if I were to disconnect the ground from my microbit, even though it's still connected to the power supply, the servo doesn't move because it's like, ah! And you can hear it's jittery because it's so confused. It doesn't know where to go. But then as soon as I connect it back to the microbit ground, it's like, yay, we have all the things. I know where I'm going. Okay, cool. So that's it. This will work for pretty much any control device that you might have for connecting a servo motor. Let me know if you have any questions about this, about other types of microcontrollers and how we would do this. I will post a screenshot of the code. The code's pretty straightforward. All it says is on button A, send a signal to pin P0 to move a servo. It doesn't matter what is powering the servo because the power in and ground wires are separate from the signal wire. The microbit is sending a signal to control the servo. It doesn't necessarily have to power the servo as well. We just have to connect the grounds. Cool. All right. So I hope that helps. Go forth and build all the projects. Yes. And let me know if you have any questions. Okay. Bye.